another tip for freshmen: don't court as freshmen. If you were the average freshman age, which for our class is 18, 19, don't court. We do have some people who are older, like 21, 23, and so if they court, that's their time in life. But as a freshman, 18, 19 coming in, don't court.
It works for some people, but it would not have worked for me.
Okay, that's actually fair. Like there's a couple that they met pro-Logos week, never seen each other before, and they're now engaged.
Yeah.
9 months later as freshmen. So it works for some people.
You gotta. It's so unlikely that you're gonna have your life established and concretized, like in what you want to do during freshman year, that you won't just be up and courting women out of excitement and because pretty girls are pretty, and so my testosterone commands me.
You feel the drive to court. So because the one couple that's actually worked out is in the mix of like 4 or 5 who have already been broken up.
Actually worked out, man. That's crazy.
No, it actually is insane.
No, it happens. Dude, it's just freshman year is a very squirrely year, and so you get that squirrel inside you, and it wants to go mate with all the other squirrels, and so you look at a woman and you're like, this is a perfectly lovely woman. She's got herself put together. I bet I can take her. And then you get together and you realize you have not studied life and women enough to really know what you're doing, and you get in over your head and you think that's fine because you're already in over your head. But if you're already in over your head in one facet of life, you don't have to push it into all the others. If you're a young man, young man, like unestablished in anything young man, the odds of you really being able to command the respect of one of the kind of ambitious young ladies that comes to NSA is diminished at best.
Yeah, because when you come, like Rauk said, when you come to NSA as a guy, you look around, it's like, wow, I'm in this community where all the girls are reformed. They want to be a homemaker, all these things, it just checks all the boxes. But you got to realize that you yourself are not ready. Most of the times, like 90% of the time, there are guys who are like, I am ready, and it's like, actually you're not. Like you may think you are. You may think that you have everything lined out and you're like, oh, I can be a man. It's like, well, first you got to get some life experience under your belt. You can't just read books and be wise. You got to learn how to apply the wisdom that you've shelved away in your mind.
Yeah, lock this in, boys. This is actually a pretty valuable revelation. Now, it's probably not unique to me. It's probably well known by most people. But it feels weird. You would think, okay, the kind of people coming to NSA, man and woman, should be compatible to each other. But honestly, not really. One of the reasons that so many guys drop out of NSA is because when you're a guy at NSA, you're precluded from really doing a bunch of aggressive career stuff. You can't be going off to like Utah and Montana and doing job interviews and really forwarding your career. So you, as your sexual market value is much lower than the kind of women who are at NSA, where they're like ambitiously, their parents are paying for them and crud, but they're ambitiously like working on developing themselves as a person, and they're fighting books, and that's actually a much more masculine frame for a woman to be in than. Whereas if a guy is at NSA, it kind of pushes him the opposite direction. It pushes you down because you're precluded from doing very much. Now that's one of the reasons why the freshman year JAG is such a good one, because you get all the development that NSA can front load on you. You Pareto principle, 20-80, the 80-20 rule. You get all that goodies, and then boom, you're out. You're one of these liberated dudes roaming around the countryside, hunting down jobs, hunting down a salary, freaking clobbering things. And the NSA ladies look at you and they see you doing this, and then they look at man reading City of God in the library for 5 hours, and they're like, which of these is a better mate? I think it's the dude out here with a club with a leopard skin, freaking battering down the hatches of a job. Anyway, this is one idea. And NSA guys are much less likely to be able to support themselves and a family than someone who's not at NSA. So, freshman year JAG, it's good. It's good. They are taking away the associate's degree because it was so popular, really. So many people were not going the full 4 years that they wanted to kind of funnel more money into themselves. And because, the other years are legitimately valuable, and a lot of people are missing out on that. But also, I imagine it's difficult for them to sustain 2 degrees versus just 1.
Yeah. Well, that is actually true. Freshman and sophomore year, I feel, when it comes to the classes they give you, it's very just foundational level stuff, just kind of molding you into this person. And then junior and senior year, they've taken their mold, which isn't detailed all the way, and then they get the chisel out and they detail. They put the finer points on your education instead of just these broad foundational points, which are in the freshman and sophomore year. Which is why if Dr. Longshore gives the speech he gave us, he gives you the speech he gave us, he'll tell you, wait till junior year to start dating.
Yeah.
Because freshman, sophomore year, you're taking just this huge amount of broad foundational learning that's just drowning you. And so it takes 2 years to kind of get your head above the water consistently. And then all of a sudden junior year comes along and you can be like, oh, job, dating, you can kind of handle it all. Or so I've heard.
Also, as far as like growing up, these years, like freshman year, by the end of freshman year, as compared to the beginning, you're gonna have a much better understanding of your personal values and tastes and what you like. Like, you're just gonna have had so many discussions where you're trying to articulate some sort of position you believe in. All these different things in NSA culture and Moscow culture and being on your own, and all these things about freshman year are taking you from a child to your own sort of independent adult. And so you're somewhat like a actually significantly different person at the other end of college than you are at the beginning. So it kind of, unless you're that kind of dude in freshman year, where it's like I've had a rough and tumble upbringing. I know I can fend for myself in any sort of topic, career, education. Unless you're already self-sustained, don't let the squirrel in you get to you.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's actually difficult.
Because it quite legitimately is. Like, there have been times, I've avoided, dating somebody, but there still are times when I'm like, wow, I, really like this person and really enjoy being around them, whatnot, and I would like to get to know them better.
Yeah, the women are great.
Yeah,
Tempting. These dirty women, they're trying to get us to break our principles. We shan't.
We shall not break. We shall fight on to the end, even if there are all these, very...
We'll fight from the beaches. Whatever else Winston Churchill said.
We'll fight on the beaches. We'll fight on the landing grounds. We'll fight
in the rhetoric classes, at the dances, when they're dressed up and making themselves a living. Also,
We shall never surrender to the beauty of women until the Lord calls us home.
It's Mr. Good. One of the 20.
Oh, it is one of the 50,000 Mr. Goods.
Yeah. You think you've met them all, and then it turns out you met 2. And they're 9 or such.
Yeah, I've met 1, 2, 3, 4 Goods.
Oh, I've met more than you then. He.
Now he has 3 years on me. Yeah. In the good way. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so resist the temptation. You will feel the divine, God implanted in you this call to go and be fruitful.
You're supposed to be getting off your rocker and wait, no, that's the wrong. Get off the ball, not off your rocker.
Get off your rocker.
Just
crazy.
go nutty. Yeah. Go crazy.
Like a squirrel, baby.
Yeah, you're supposed to be getting off the ball at this stage in life, but if college is the one thing you're doing, you're still on the ball, dude. So
yeah, it's like I guess almost like an interim stage.
Yeah,
you know, like
you're
yeah. You know, you're this child that was transformed to an adult, and you're. Is that another NSA couple over there? That is. That's Jaeger, yeah, and his girl.
Jägermeister.
Yeah, you know, like in your childhood, you were a child, then you were formed into an adult in your teenage years, and all of a sudden it's like another training ground, NSA. But by that time, most people are, finding themselves a woman. And so it's kind of like, well, hold up, take 2 years off and just learn and grow and form yourself.
Yeah. Also, we should also add the disclaimer that advice is not unilateral. This is a general recommendation, but if you can make it work, you ought to.
Yeah.
Like
people have made it work. Like there's a couple in our.
But there are also
couples who have not made it work. Yeah.
Whereas you shouldn't have been doing that, laddie.
Don't assume that you're the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
There are guys who are like, oh, date this girl and it's all gonna work out great. Yada 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 in our class, the freshman class, and it's like, yeah. By term 3, term 4, it did not work out good. Things did not go as planned, but then there's the one exception. So don't base your rules off the exceptions, or else you have bad rules. Realize that the exceptions establish rules,
Well, Jared Dodd, you have officially been documented, so my horrible memory will be able to recall you.
Oh, thank you.
Hooray!